until everything that God has put in me comes out of me like fire. Shut up in my bones. They're going to make me preach in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I promised I wasn't going to preach, but now I'm starting to feel like there's some devils in this room. And I came to run some devils out of Florida. I came to run depression out of Florida. I came to make a woman get back in position and to take her rightful place. As a woman who has victory over the enemy, I got victory over that. I've got victory over addiction. I've got victory over cancer. I've got victory over everything that's been happening in my family. I've got victory over suicidal thoughts. I got victory over that. I know it doesn't look like victory. I'm telling you where it's going to end. You're looking at the middle, but I'm listening to what God said first. God said I was going to come out of this. God said that this thing wasn't going to take me out. I'm prophesying. Because I don't care what the middle says. I care what God said first. And the most powerful thing that ever happened to me is when I was 6 or 7 years ago. I decided that even though I got pregnant at 13, had my son at 14, even though I dropped out of college, even though I was waitressing at a strip club, even though I did all of these things that were supposed to disqualify me, the most powerful thing that ever happened to me is I went back to what God said first. I stopped looking at where I was in the middle, and I zoomed out of the picture. And when I zoomed out of the picture, all I could see was when I was formed in my mother's womb to where he promised me that I was going to make it to the other side. What is the other side? The other side is when his glory can be manifested through my life. And I realized that I could not say zoomed into where I was and let glory be manifested through my life at the same time. So I had to make a decision to clear the way for glory, to clear the way for his anointing to fall, to clear the way for him to show up. That's why Eve is really one of my favorite women in the Bible, because Eve found a way to clear the path for the seed that was meant to bruise the head of the serpent to be birthed. I love that Eve wasn't concerned with whether or not she would see the seed. All she was concerned with was setting the promise in motion. So Eve has Cain and Abel, and they had beef. But she did not allow the fact that Cain and Abel did not look like the seed that would bruise the head of the serpent to keep her from still producing. She chose to keep on producing even when the thing that was supposed to be the seed or could have been the seed died. She said, if that seed didn't work, then there must be another seed. If I had time, I would preach a message called Throw Another Seed at It. Because there are moments in life when the first seed doesn't look like the seed that is supposed to be the seed, and we shut down altogether when God really just wanted you to throw another seed at it. Eve throws another seed at it through Seth, and Seth becomes ultimately the first line of redemption that would lead us to Jesus. So all Eve decided to do really was not focus on whether or not she would see it, but whether or not she could do something that would just set it in motion. That's my prayer for you. Activate. Is that you would not be so consumed with whether or not you are the one who actually pulls everyone over to the other side. That you would not be so concerned with whether or not your business that is just starting off becomes a Forbes company. Right now, you're thinking too big that you have to work what you know until you get to where God said you would go. So the only thing that I want you to focus on is setting something in motion. If you set it in motion, God will do the rest.
Yeah, I feel that today, people watching, every woman is going to feel differently on the inside.
Yeah.
It's going to change their heart. It's going to change their mind, change their perception on who God is, what they can be, how to get going, and be motivated, and just see God do great things in your life. You know, the women that Sarah speaking today, you know, that I am the one. I am the one that can do it, you know. And I just think it's just empowering.
Today, what was, in a sense, deeply activated or galvanized in me was my belief that I really can crush the head of the serpent, even though my heel is bruised. Sarah Jakes Roberts gave a phenomenal message on, even though Eve was broken, because of God's imbued power in her, she still was able to come at the enemy. You know, the enmity between her and the enemy of our souls went both ways. And we've got a situation in our family right now that goes way, way back, several generations, involving addiction. It's real fresh for me, and real heartbreaking for me. And to be reminded in such a powerful way that, you know what? The enemy does not have, he's not going to get this generation in our family. I was so encouraged, so galvanized that that's kind of where I'm activated. I feel like I'm standing taller in the spirit to go, nope, you're not going to have this anymore. So I'm coming up against addiction in my family.
If you're watching this programming and for some reason you're starting to look at the bills or the circumstances or the divorce or the miscarriages, life hands us so many painful things, and we start to feel like, you know what, I'm not it. I'm not the woman who can handle this. I just want to go back to being in my little corner, or I don't want to be here at all. I want you to know that when God placed you in this earth, that he did so because he believed in the power of him working through you. You know what that means? You don't have to do this by yourself, that you are not in this fight alone. And when you partner with God, that fight is not just fair, it is fixed. It means that greater is he is going to rise up within you, and it's going to tackle everything that is outside of you. So what I would say to you, wherever you are, no matter what you're going through, I don't care how dark, how depressing, how scary it is, you are the woman for the job. That God said, I placed you in that situation. I allowed those things to take place because I knew that if you called on my name and you started partnering with me and you allowed my thoughts to become your thoughts and my ways to become your ways, that not only would you have victory, but that you would have supernatural breakthrough that your family lives off of for generations to come. Stay in the fight, girl. I need you.